Women Wednesday Live. We've had such a rich behind the scenes conversation.
We have. Like, I don't even know where to start. Good morning.
I think we're gonna have a great show. Good morning.
We're gonna have an amazing show.
My super amazing co-host Michelle Ozimi. Oh, in fact, but it's really funny because Jordan Espeseth with Real Producers likes to put people's names together.
He does.
And
It's
so
cute.
we were looking at people, and you were just featured. And
it was so fun.
Yeah, it was awesome in North Fort Worth for your coaching, of course. And he was like, "Oh, that's Mozimi," and I was like, "Ooh,
Good one.
Mozimi."
Good one.
I think that's my new nickname for you.
I like it.
Okay.
I'm not offended. I think it's fun.
Okay,
I
who-
love a good nickname.
Who am I?
You're Smashly.
I am Smashley.
You are Smashly. You are Ashley Gentry, my
Yes.
amazing co-host. Do you know that we have been at this for almost a year?
Wow.
And we kind of had a little anniversary trip together.
We did. We
Weekend.
proved our friendship, our professional and personal relationship.
We can travel together.
By doing an overnighter and a fast, what was that, like a 30-hour trip?
It was 30 hours. I still don't necessarily know where we were.
Okay, that was
Like if we had been taken, we just would have been taken.
Well, the lucky thing is that I have Apple trackers in my
Yes,
bags.
yes.
We have devices on us everywhere.
Yes.
I just text Reese, "Hey, I don't think I have my AirPods case, but I have my AirPods." And he was like, "Just check the tracker. They're with you." I'm like, "Cool, probably in the car."
Yes,
So
yes.
at least we can
travel together.
we can travel together.
in spite of your oversized luggage that actually cannot be put in an overhead bin.
Okay, but on the way there, you have to give me credit.
You did.
I was so
You-
confidently
you-
checking or not checking that bag that they let me on the plane. And I
You
fit it
shoved
in there.
that girl into the overhead bin.
It fit perfectly.
But the lovely flight attendant on the way home said, "No, ma'am." And
I think she
just-
literally said no, ma'am. And I was like, dadgummit. But that's okay. It was fast. It wasn't a big deal. But yes, we survived. In fact, we thrived.
We had a great time.
enjoyed each other. Because when I was a kid, because I'm an only child, I was always allowed to bring
yeah.
a friend with me on vacation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so sweet. But by the time we got back, I was no longer friends with them.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Yes.
Like it was
Yes.
like, this was fun. And now we're moving on. So that was my parting gift to you of our friendship. I mean, there was some.
I'm so glad I made the cut.
You did. I feel like we could do it again and maybe a little bit longer. But I did make fun of you because you needed a new brush and you bought a new brush.
I did. It will be delivered today. I will have to pack heavier pajamas because you do like for it to be 7 degrees below zero in the hotel room.
Here's the problem with that. And I bet you people will confirm. Okay, one, hotels have massively bad air quality. There's moisture.
Agreed.
There's all of these
It was
other
bad.
things. So one, I had curly hair, right? And so
You
I
did.
couldn't
We all
have.
did.
Yeah, but I curled my hair the day before, and so it was like I didn't want the curls going. And if we let the humidity seep in, because we were in West Palm Beach, I was in trouble.
Were we?
We were. Yeah, Delray.
But are they two different places?
I don't know. It was fine.
Yeah.
But no. But so I turned it down, and you were like, "I'm freezing. I'm freezing. I'm gonna die." And I'm like, "God, all right, turn it back up." And then what did you say in the morning?
It did get warm.
You were hot and sweaty. I literally tossed and turned. I'm pretty sure I went through 4 cycles of menopause. And I woke up and I said, "Guess my hair is screwed." So now I'm wearing a high pony, which turned out beautifully, and it was
She
the
was
right
adorable.
move.
She
But
was amazing.
still, yeah.
It was good. It was good.
It was good.
It was a great trip. We met some incredible people. We met, talk about women in history. It's International Women's History Month or whatever it is. I'm super excited about that. But we got to meet Dr. Jen Welter.
We did. Dr. Jen was great.
Amazing.
I know I can't do the stance while we're sitting here,
I can't. But she is the first female coach in the NFL. She was the
linebackers coach for Cardinals.
yeah.
See,
it
I
was really
remember
cool.
that.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember
it
that
was really
part.
cool. She was amazing. She
Yeah.
was amazing.
And then Girls with Grit. And they've
Fabulous.
So they are absolutely amazing. Powerhouse trio.
Yeah, and so nice.
They are so nice.
So nice.
Yeah, so no, it was awesome, and I'm so appreciative to Jamison Olsen with All My
Also
Sons.
amazing,
Yeah.
and can rock a pink suit like nobody's business.
Kid, I'm embodying.
You
know
are.
that I should have worn this to the actual
You should
event
have.
because it was all pink.
It was amazing. Such a great event.
But no, that was what it was. It was a our Hustle is Different, our Women in Business conference that was in Florida. The actual city shall remain nameless. But Our World, which is the 3rd largest association, and we're the 5th at Metrotex. But it was absolutely phenomenal. Jamison invited me to speak with those other
great.
2 powerhouse women and or groups, and it was just such an experience to pour into. I think they had like 200 women there from
was cool.
all up the coast of Florida. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
We had a great time. And
here
we
we are.
survived. And here we are. Here we are. It is Ash Wednesday. It is Women's Month. March is going to be fantastic.
I think it is going to be fantastic. Except
After everyone gets their furniture out of the pool.
Well, that's what I was about to say. It's March. I think yesterday I saw Bradley Edge, who serves on the board with me. He was so funny. He was like, you're in March when the weather was the drunkest ever yesterday. It
was so bad.
Hot, cold, windy, tornadoes, sun, raining. Like, what are we doing?
It was insane. My
And-
dog spent the whole day under the bed.
And I had a photo shoot. That was fun. And to end the day trying to do a Twilight photo shoot. But Tanner Hobbs is absolutely amazing. He's been my photographer for a long time. And I was like, "Are we doing this?" He was like, "I had to land my drone in another location yesterday on 2 other shoots, but we're going to do this, Ashley." And of course, we had patio furniture. It has a pool. I was getting moss balls out of the pool for 3
Yep.
hours. Just because you'd put them back, take a picture, and then they'd fly like
Yes.
Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
So it
yes.
was a great day.
It was a great day.
What do you actually want to talk about now that I went all over the place for you?
Let's talk about women.
Okay. We is one.
We is one, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think what we decided is we would talk about, and you made a good point, growing up as children, we didn't necessarily know about like real women in history, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, the historical women weren't necessarily in our faces prevalent on a daily basis, even though obviously.
We did go to school.
Yes.
But who are the women that you admired from like your fictional women, from television shows and things like that?
So,
And we did get off on a tangent about that, so I don't know who your answer is.
fun fact, obviously my name is Ashley. There are a lot of us that were born in the 80s that
Yeah.
were named Ashley for
Yes.
different reasons. I was named after Ashley Abbott from Young and the Restless, who was the perfume heiress and CEO.
We just made Rick laugh.
I know, of the family perfume company.
I didn't know
That's what they did.
that was what they did.
Yeah, they made they were a perfumier.
My grandmother watched The Young and the Restless.
So my mom loved it, and
Yeah.
she saw Ashley Abbott, and she was this very strong, independent acting,
Which
gorgeous
one
blonde
was
woman.
Ashley?
I just explained to her, like me, but on Young and the Restless.
Yes, but I cannot remember. Okay.
Now you're gonna have to look it up.
I will. I'll look it up later.
So when people ask that or like, "Oh, what's your?" I'm like, "Oh, soap opera," which is really fitting. And so that was so in true form. I watched Young and the Restless.
Love
Loved those things.
Have you gone back and watched a soap opera? Like, have you got a clip of one and realized just how absolutely ridiculous
Yes,
they are?
but now fast forward, we do the same thing and we just watch Bravo.
That's fair. Yeah,
So-
but those are actually real people, so that's
Yeah, but
disturbing.
they're still acting.
yes,
I mean, come on now. But that's what I think is the funny part. I'm digressing for 1 second. Is the fact that people will crap on Bravo, and then you go, "I'm so sorry, General Hospital, or Bold and the Beautiful, or Young and the Restless." Or Marlena with Days of Our Lives, who died 14 times and like came back like a zombie or something. So that's what I laugh and I'm just like, judge me not.
That's fair. That's
Yes.
fair. So
Okay, so
yes.
I was named after Ashley Abbott. What about you? Who's somebody that you were really enamored by?
Ally McBeal.
Oh, I love Ally McBeal.
Love.
I could
Ally
put her in my
McBeal.
pocket though. She's
You
so
could.
cute.
You could. She was adorable though. But the corner office lawyer in New York, like
Yeah.
that was my vibe. Like that's
Okay.
That's. I mean, now it sounds awful, but that's what I wanted to be.
Why does
Like,
it sound awful? Oh, it sounds awful to be in a corner office in a tower and
yes.
yeah. Okay.
As long as I can come and go, because I'm not fit for
Because
that. As long as I can come and go.
because we're highly unemployable.
Because we're highly unemployable.
Okay.
Yes. But no, love the whole corner office vibe
Okay.
and the outfits. Loved the outfits.
Okay.
So yeah. And she was like a girl in charge of everything.
She wasn't. So it's very similar.
Yeah.
Ally McBeal.
Yes.
Ashley Abbott. I think your show was a little bit more successful on prime time. Mine was more daytime trash.
I think yours might still be on though.
Longest running. Thank you. I'm nothing if not persistent.
You are. You
Thank you.
are.
I think it. Yes. Yeah. So no, that was a good one. What other? You know what? How about just pioneer female characters that have followed us? You know, it was one that Julia Roberts. She always really played iconic roles. And Steel Magnolias was probably
That was a good one.
the movie I watched the most. And I look back now and I'm like, have you seen those? Well,
I thought you were
haven't
going to
'cause
go
you're
with
not
Pretty
TikToks.
Woman, and I was like, okay, that's
We can talk entrepreneurial.
She was
I
very
mean,
entrepreneurial.
Yeah, got what persistent, had self-respect. I can spin that, remember? Because she basically was like, no, sir.
That's
like,
true.
I've turned a leaf and
Yes,
I'm
she
going,
did.
Thank you.
She did. She did.
I can spin any of
You
these
really
things.
can. And I did have the brown polka dot dress. I can always bring it back to fashion.
No, it's good. That is a classic look. So it was Julia Roberts, specifically in Steel Magnolias.
Yeah,
and
that was a
then,
great character.
My mom also has diabetes, and so I do this with her sometimes. And I'm like, Shelby, drink your juice, Shelby. Shelby, drink your juice. And she smacks me and tells me to knock it off. But we watched it all the time together. In fact, my husband and I went on our first date because he was obviously raised in the same era. And we quoted Steel Magnolias together.
Aww.
And so he actually
That's
had
sweet.
a red velvet armadillo groom's cake
Aw.
at our wedding. So talking about things really honestly still shaping your life.
Yeah.
I mean, it was to the point where those characters and those things actually kind of bonded my husband and I on our first real date. And then to kind of put the exclamation point, we even had the armadillo groom's cake.
That's
and you
precious.
Cut it open, it looks like it's blading.
We had, so our first date, actually, speaking of female movie characters,
Yeah.
True Lies with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, that was a good movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
She always played really strong.
Very strong roles.
Yes. Well,
yeah.
'cause she's a strong woman.
Yes.
So
yes. Then we went to Denny's and had coffee and French fries afterwards. So
I like that too, though.
yeah, we
That's
didn't
like
have that at our wedding.
bring it down to reality and,
were in
and
Red Oak.
everything else. We were in Red
There
Oak.
weren't a lot of options.
I mean, there's a lot of options at Red Oak now, but we're not
Now?
we're not gonna go down that road. But no, and so it was interesting when you were talking about female figures and doing all these things, because something that I think just even the idea of what somebody or something represents was also very shaping.
Yes.
Because we didn't have constant media in our face. It was very different.
Right.
To where I think now we're really diluted with the information and the people we see. And so we don't see really one set of people kind of taking the stage front
true.
and center. But like Rosie the Riveter.
yeah.
Just the representation
Yes,
of
yes.
that, I think was something. The strong woman who worked the assembly line,
Yes.
during the war and all of those things, and it became more of an iconic representation of women can do it too.
And what I like about Rosie the Riveter and women like that are women who are willing to take the risk, because what she did was not it was not expected and it was not necessarily approved of.
Sure.
But she just did it because she saw a need. And that's the kind of women I like.
Okay, so another one, A League of Their Own.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. Good one.
That was
Good
so
one.
yeah. So that was another one. And if you really think about it, and Tom Hanks,
Yes.
looking at, I can't remember the actress's name, and she's just sobbing in the bullpen, and he's like, "There's no crying in baseball."
I don't remember who that was.
I don't think she was necessarily the most famous of
Right,
of actors. But no, that was an entire movie.
It was.
About women stepping in and out of the assumed roles that they were supposed to take, whether it was taking care of the family farm, whether it was being a doting wife during the war, or a mom, or a good daughter and taking care of the homestead. And so that whole movie really embodied trying to get women to sign up to do something that
Take a risk.
Take a risk that
Yeah.
was signaling something to the rest of the world, because baseball was the #1 pastime
Yes.
at the time. I don't know that it is anymore. That's a controversy for another day. But it was, we've got to bring this to the people because we are in strife, we are in war, and let's see if we can get the women to rise up to the occasion. It was it was very impactful for me, because there were just so many things you could take from that. Like one, you don't cry in baseball.
No crying in baseball.
And Tom Hanks quite literally had the longest potty break after a long night of drinking I've ever heard in my life. So, I mean, I know you're looking at me like, why are we going down there? But that's something that really stood with me as a child, that he was very dehydrated and had a night of partying. And so anywho, take the good and the bad with that one. You're welcome.
So drink
Mom.
your water.
Drink your water. Thank you. And less beer. But yes, no.
So that leads me to, this is a surprise question then.
Okay.
What's the biggest risk you've ever taken?
Ooh.
Besides real estate.
I honestly think I take risks every day. Now, at this
Yeah.
point, now looking back, there wasn't like one major calculated risk because I don't, this is a shocker to you. I don't overthink it.
No words.
Are you okay?
No words.
Are you okay? All right. So I don't overthink it. So if I see something and I go, this makes sense. These are who I need to help me do it. I think I can do it. Let's move. Like, I'm really the person that's like, cool, 24 hours later, are we going down this path? Maybe not just 24. It could be like a few weeks or whatever, teeing things up. Or recognizing, hey, I need my friend's help if we're going to do this, right?
Yeah.
And we kind of recognize that in each other.
Yes.
Doing that. But as far as just sitting there and saying, do I do this or do I not do this? Is this going to, I don't know that I have that reflection point as much. Maybe the biggest risk I took was telling my inebriated bar patron that I had a crush on my husband, and she gave him my phone number. And then look where we are today.
That's how that went?
Yeah, mhm.
That's precious.
It is, isn't it? I mean, of course, it's so me. But no, I think it's those things. I think, I was, again, listening to my Hustle stuff, and it's in TikTok form, so it's only 30 seconds long. And it was basically like, the more risk you take, the luckier you are, which means like the people that
There's
are
no luck.
prevailing,
Yes.
there's no luck. The people who are prevailing are the ones that are consistently taking some calculated risk, I think, on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
And-
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think to be successful, you have to take risk. Even if you want to be successful in your personal life, in the corporate world, or as an entrepreneur, you have to take risk. That's huge.
Well, and I think it's when you make the commitment to do something, like there's risk in everything. There would have been risk in going through a leadership journey through Metrotex, and you'd sit there and say that's taking time, precious time away from your business. But it's not. Instead, I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. And in turn, I'm going to make sure that doing this also supports my goals,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's the biggest thing is if you're trying at least for me and my personality, if I'm trying to like reshape it to like a pivotal moment or something else where there was a full paradigm shift of what I've done, I don't know that I can go back to one. I just know that every time I said I'm doing this,
Yeah.
man, what happened after that was so absolutely amazing. And I think that's a mixture between honestly being faithful and steadfast and knowing that God's got my back and this
Right.
is what I need to do. And then I also have the support to make some of these decisions, and whether we win or we don't, you still got to get out there and try. And,
Yeah.
and I think now that I'm 40, 40,
40 and fabulous.
thank you. 40.
Yes.
The first show is 40. I think I'm so excited that this entire decade I can kind of have that wherewithal, and what can I do without that baggage holding me back of prior bad acts or decisions in my youthful tenure.
But I think it's the bad acts and decisions that make us who we are too. Like you kind of got to have those.
No,
you know?
I think I told you that before. It was like I made some unsavory decisions that led
Didn't we
me.
all?
Yes, but
We're
I mean,
from the 80s. Of course
but-
we did.
I met my husband as his bartender at a biker bar, and no, Reese is not a biker. However,
Yeah,
it
why was he there?
It was a local watering hole. It was just the closest one
okay.
to his apartment.
Okay. Because having met Reese on several occasions, I just
doesn't-
feel like he was lost.
It doesn't vibe, does it?
No, not even a little bit.
No, it was, he would go there and watch some baseball and order a couple of beers and some cheese sticks for one of the guys that would bring his kids with him, and he always took care of them. It was so cute.
I have to out Reese.
Why do you have to out Reese? What did he do?
Well, because you don't let him eat anything that's not healthy. I
I
feel
do
like.
too. He had a Culver's burger last night.
Okay, well, at the North Fort Worth Real Producers event, he kept eating the mac and cheese bites, and he was like, "Don't tell Ashley." It's like you ate them all. Nobody got any, Reese.
Well, look, for that again, we are even he's like, we just can't eat. He ate the daggum burger last night and immediately started sneezing. And it's not from the meat or anything else. It's the bun and it's all the other stuff and everything else.
I get it.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like Igor when he gets a gout flare up. I'm like, dude, we're not doing this. So that is the responsibility that comes with being in your 40s now, Michelle.
That's fair. That's fair. I do come from really healthy stock, so it does.
Well, I know 3% body fat. I'm freezing in the hotel room.
Well, and also my dad is like almost 80 years old and
okay.
still does the hotter than hell. Like he's fit. Like
Yeah.
I got lucky there. So
Yeah, so that's great. Well,
Yeah. So
I have to work a little harder than you, ma'am. So there we are.
with your steak at dinner.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I think you look back and then you just have to say, it's not abandon the risk and everything, but sometimes things don't work out. And that's also a part
Yes.
of putting yourself out there. And the funny part, and we obviously have talked about this with our amazing friend and partner on this crazy journey, Mr. Rick Davis.
You hear him giggling in the
I know,
background.
he keeps on digging and he loves this. But no, we talk about sometimes where it's like, oh, I thought it was going to go this way and
Yeah.
now we're zigging this way. And ultimately, this zig is much better than that zag, right? I mean, like it could have been. And I think realizing that now with
Yes.
different business and personal relationships that don't always go the way you think they're going to go. And you go, oh, it's because there was a greater plan.
Yes.
Right?
It's because I was in a learning season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I learned a lot from that.
Yeah.
Do you think the risk is different or greater? Or how do you think the risk is different or greater for women versus men?
Because I think when women make bold choices, we are looked as maybe domineering,
yes,
too
yes.
masculine.
Or we should be at home taking care of the kids. Why is she out doing
Yeah,
that?
I mean, there's just all of those things, the dichotomy of that, which I will tell you, I am a weird juxtaposition if people know me, where I go, I completely support anybody who feels that being a stay-at-home mom, when I say stay-at-home mom, being a, it's not just somebody who sits there being thrown up and, by a baby and all of these other stuff. Somebody that wants to be.
the baby does grow.
The baby does grow, but somebody that wants to support their home front and do all of those things. I tried to do both of it for the first 3 years of Alex's life.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely amazing. And she's been homeschooled this entire time. So
Yeah.
it's been a very different environment. I knew I wasn't going to be able to be consistently just a stay-at-home mom because I had a fire in my belly for business and,
Yeah.
and I had an entrepreneurial spirit. But no, so I support women and I think that it's okay if you don't want to be a boss lady, and we should also empower women to make those decisions
Absolutely.
and not demonize them.
Absolutely.
But I do think when you see a woman who has a very strong presence, she is often looked at, dare I say, as a bitch occasionally.
Maybe not on the show,
Sorry,
but yes.
Mom,
Yeah.
but that's what they call us sometimes. Or just angry or aggressive instead of, man, she has a lot of confidence.
Yes.
And the way she presents herself she just exudes, that and everything. And so, yeah, but take it for what it is. I mean, it is what it is, but ultimately, women
We're
taking those risks are
lucky.
necessary.
Because we have very supportive husbands.
Correct.
And I thought it was also interesting.
The Girls with
the
Grit.
Girls with Grit mentioned
know.
that as well.
Yep.
That they have extremely supportive husbands. And I think that's huge.
Michelle, do you think we've also always had it in us, and so we attracted those type of husbands from the start?
Yes.
Yeah. So because let's
No,
hold out
that's
on
a
that
great question. Yes,
because
for
you
sure.
sit there and you go, okay, did the husbands get supportive after the women started seeing success? Which and I'm not talking about Girls with Grit or anything else. I'm even talking about if you look at my situation, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, did they just pull back once the woman started making the money? No, that's not it. I think they're naturally we all had that personality.
Yeah.
We all had that drive
Always,
in us.
for sure.
So I think naturally we've found our partners that
Yeah.
were willing to support that type of tenacity, and then it's taken shape and we've all signed off
Yeah.
on figuring out what this entrepreneurial lifestyle looks both at home and in the professional space.
Yes, absolutely. No, I would agree with that. I do. I mean, just like with your friendships, you attract your vibe. Your vibe is your tribe, or whatever they say. But I think that's also true.
Is that on a
and
T-shirt? Do you have it stenciled on your bathroom mirror?
my daughter probably does. Actually, she's a little more spiritual than that. But yes, yes.
No, but I think that's just really important for people to understand. And you know what? When new agents used to come to me, when I would sponsor them, and I don't anymore.
Amen.
I'm gonna let Michelle coach them.
I'm going to coach you. I'm
Yeah.
not going to sponsor you.
But when they used to come and they would talk about getting their real estate license or just going even down that, my biggest thing before anything else wasn't, I don't think you can do it. Yes, you've got the tenacity. You're super smart. You're a go-getter. Do you have support at home?
Huge.
Because if you don't have support at home, doesn't mean you still can't be successful.
Yeah.
Just understand that is going to greatly impact your personal life. And ultimately, it will take notice in your professional life. So you have to go into it with eyes wide open. Is this something that your entire family, that doesn't mean your partner, is this something that your entire family is on board with? Because this is not a stereotypical lifestyle.
And to your point, if you're also going into real estate as a second career, third career,
Yep.
so at that point in time, you typically will have children. Your children need to be,
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
the whole family has to be on
Yeah.
board, you know, with that decision.
because it's so very different.
Well, and I think that's the important thing to note, that when you're an entrepreneur, which you are if you're a realtor or a licensed agent, that's a lifestyle. That is not a job.
is.
And,
It is.
And so everybody's got to be on the same page, and that doesn't mean everybody's got to be happy about it all the time.
No, we have teenagers. They're not going to be happy all the time anyway. So,
Mine's 11. She's still precious.
right. You got another year or two.
Okay.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Well, I took you down a lot of winding paths.
You did.
Was there anything that we missed that you actually wanted our audience to maybe take away from
the whole
today?
thing, actually. But I think the biggest thing that we really kind of landed on that is something for our viewers to kind of dwell on over the next couple weeks till our next episode is, one, what risks do you need to take to be successful in your business right now?
Yep.
And if you don't know, you can hire a coach.
Sure.
Hi. And what are the women in history that you're most inspired by? So I think those are two things we can kind of leave our audience with to think about.
Yeah.
And what do you have coming up?
Oh man, I don't know. Wherever my calendar is telling me to go at this point,
Excellent.
it's been a crazy couple of
It
weeks.
really has. It really has.
So I'm not going into autopilot. I just know we've got some really cool things.
We do.
Coming down the pike. And,
We do.
Yeah.
And you can go follow our show on Instagram because the amazing Rick Davis and Studio USA created a Winning Women's Wednesday Instagram. So go check it out. And you can also rewatch the episode on Spotify if you missed anything.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you.
Let's have a blessed day.
Let's have a blessed day.
Bye, friend.